And welcome to week 3 of my high school football championship series for college football 26. Just a quick reminder, all 8 of these teams that you will be seeing featured in this series are available for download to use in your college football 26 video game. Simply search for my username down there at the bottom, Dreadwin94, and you can download them and import them into your own college football 26 video game and play as any one of these teams. Just make sure you're using the username search box and not the keyword search box. All right, so let's get on to the weekly schedule for week 3. And these are the games we have lined up for week 3. We've got South Terrebonne traveling to HL Bourgeois. We've got South Lafourche traveling to Morgan City. We've got Thibodaux going to Central Lafourche. And then closing it out, we'll have Terrebonne at Ellender this week. So, again, 3 of these teams are currently undefeated. 2 of them, Terrebonne and Ellender, are facing each other. So it's going to be an interesting week to see how things shake out and how the standings get rearranged after this week. For now, tonight we're going to do 2 of these games, and I believe how the schedule is going to work out going forward is we're going to be doing 2 games on Tuesday nights and 2 games on Thursday nights, and then the weekend will be kind of a flex week for me. If I decide to stream something on the weekend, I can. If not, I don't have to, kind of thing. I may do a different type of game on the weekends. We'll see how things go. But anyway, let's stay on topic here with this course. So tonight we're going to be doing. We're going to kick things off with South Terrebonne at HL Bourgeois. So let's move to our gameplay footage. And we've got everything lined up here. So this is what we're looking at. South Terrebonne will be in their away uniforms today. This is their first away game. They started off the season with 2 home games. So their away uniforms are basically all whites with a green helmet. That's what that looks like. And HL Bourgeois will be at home in their alternate uniforms. So their first roll at their alternate uniforms, kind of a blackout look for them. This is what this looks like. They've got kind of an alternate helmet there with a different logo and the blacked out. So we've got black uniforms on one end and the white uniforms on the other end. So South Terrebonne certainly favored in this game, but you know what? Upsets happen. So we'll see how things shake out. But for now, we are going to set the time and the weather. And like I said, we've got the storm system coming in, so all games tonight will be under rainy conditions. So we're traveling to Houma, Louisiana to watch the South Terrebonne Gators take on the HL Bourgeois Braves. Let me kick it over to the broadcast booth, and I'll catch you guys on the other side after we see how this one shakes out.
Kicker has everything lined up and about set to get this one underway. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. A lot of times you run into these types of matchups, high-powered offense, big-time team against an opponent that's likely overmatched. So how do they keep this thing from getting ugly?
Well, everyone's going to have to elevate their level of play here defensively to have any chance in this one. I'll tell you the hard part about stopping this offense, David, it's what Chip Kelly used to always say. It's a nameless, faceless opponent. They don't care who you are. They don't care what your record is. This offense comes out, and they are trying to embarrass you.
Well, the good thing is for this defense, it's been talked about all week, right? Like, you're not good enough. This is a high-powered offense. Like, the players' attention are fully caught, right? They know exactly what they're going against. Let's see if some emotion and adrenaline can really play a factor, and they play better than they have all year. aggressive or do something a little bit different.
They've got a 1st and 10 at the 34. On the ground, it's Butler. And this one will be stopped for no gain. 4 wide out set, 2 on either side on 2nd and 10. Looking to fire. Bringing the heat. And the defense gets home and makes him play at the 37-yard line.
This defense, they are tenacious, and they've got guys up front that are athletic and that are so strong and can collapse the pocket. We saw it right there in that play action.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. He took a hit as he couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's cut. Sometimes in life, there's only one thing to do. Punt. And they should punt. Boy, they had a chance to track that thing down, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. And Jesse, they've got a running back that they'd love to feature in this if he is able to answer the challenge.
Yeah, and listen, this guy might not be a Heisman finalist, but he can break off long runs. And this defense, David, they better be ready. They better pack a lunch, show up today, and try to get hats to the football. Because if you come out here with your B game, he can run all over you.
And it's important for this offense, too, because they need to have balance on offense. They need the ground game to get going. He's capable. He's shown flashes. We just want to see it consistently.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Solid run, picks up 6 and gets it to the 28. Looking for that 1st down on 3rd and short from the 28. They'll try to run for it. And he's brought down at the 40-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They go to the ground. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Last play was a near disaster, now dealing with 2nd and 13. Back to pass, it's Sims. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. It'll be 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Fires one high and deep. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. What a momentum changer as he makes the interception and then takes the return up to the 50.
Sometimes the quarterback puts that zip on it and you can hear it, and sometimes he uses the lob wedge where it takes a little time to get there. That time he used the lob wedge and the defender came in and made the interception. Big play for this defense early.
They've got it 1st and 10 at the 50. Looking downfield on 1st down. Here comes the heat. And the defense gets home and makes a play at the 37-yard line.
Man, a lot of coaches talk about starting the drive rushing the passer. I can play man when I got a pass rush like that.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. They're working that left side. They make the stop, but the sweet boom catch is ready to give them a first down. It's been a defensive battle through the first period, and the stats tell that tale. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the second. First play of the period, first down here. Brown has it. He's going to lose a yard on that one. Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Hook release by the QB. And they pick up just a few on that completion. Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Finds his tight end. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down. The punt team makes its way onto the field. He ought to be able to use his first punt to pin him deep. Excellent job on the punt. Bounces out of bounds at the 5, and they'll have 95 yards to go in front of them. Give to the back. Found some space and crosses the 10 out to the 11. It's a pickup of 6. 6-yard pickup on first down. Leaves him with 2nd and 4. Wants to throw. It's Stewart. And it just squirted through his hands. He wanted to take off and got too anxious. This is the type of play that can give the offense momentum. 3rd and short from inside the 20. From the gun, wants to pass. And as he throws, connection to the right. Really nice job to get it past the sticks. Pick up the first down at the 30.
All right, defense, you got to turn the page. You just gave up an explosive play through the air, but here comes the offense going quickly. You got to get lined up now and get ready for another one.
Jukes his way for more. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They have been stagnant on offense, but finally a little forward movement as they've got a 1st and 10. He'll do it himself. Sweet cut. Still making moves. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground. Looking to throw on first down. Still on his feet.
see it in this game, and you're seeing it on that play right there. Everybody doing a great job with assignment football, staying in their gaps, accounting for anyone who can have the football. They were ready for the pitch guy that time. They're able to make a quick stop.
It's third down from their own 34 as they try to keep the drive moving. Back to pass, it's Sims. Snagged out of the air. And he'll have enough for the first down at the 42. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. To the ground with the back. A most efficient pickup of 6 on first down. It's 2nd and 4.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
Touch pass on the run. Dragged down at the 46 after a pickup of 5 and the first down. They'll go hurry up here. Wants to throw on first down. Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48. The defense coming up big there, and the sack is great, but the secondary deserves some credit too.
No doubt. When you can cover like that in the secondary and drop back in your zone and only rush a few, and you feel comfortable getting home, and they're going to get to the quarterback, that is a great feeling, and that's fun to be a defensive coordinator calling the plays.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. It's complete to the left. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Pocket breaking down. And they can't make the play on 3rd down. They bring the punter onto the field now. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. What a great job on that kick, bouncing it out of bounds inside the 10. First order of business, get out of this hole as the drive starts at their own 7-yard line. They'll ride the running back and leave it with it.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles. Those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Off play action. That's caught. It's Dupree. That's 20. He's got space. Out of bounds at the 27-yard line, and this offense needed a play like that. And they don't want to risk a turnover here, so they'll just take the knee and head to the locker room. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Thanks, guys. Looks like we've had ourselves a really entertaining first half. And that defense has to feel like it just played about as close to a perfect first half as it can play. And who am I to argue? I mean, check out that scoreboard. Bone-crushing hits and an airtight secondary. Feels like they have 12, 13 dudes out there against that offense, which needs a real pick-me-up and fast. It's time to throw it back to our guys in the booth to start up the second half.
Just about set to put toe to leather as we are deadlocked here in the 3rd. On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. So, guys, we'll see this offense again. The RPO, it's complete. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about.
Ineligible receive, downfield, offense.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
In football, you hear the term quick, but don't hurry. And you could tell when you run these RPOs, the QBs want to make that decision quick. And I think he hurried it a little bit too much. Got the ball out
sure that you field it cleanly in rainy weather like this. The run from the shotgun. And a decent gain there before the defense makes the stop.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down. And they got to keep that up here in the second half.
They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Knocked down at the 35 after a pickup of 3. Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. Give to the big fullback. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. They're looking at a 3rd down and short from the 33. A designed run for the quarterback. Got enough for the first down. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. This offense hasn't found the end zone yet. Starting to move, it's 1st and 10. Looking for a gap, it's Butler. Some hard running there, but just too many defenders as he stopped for a loss. Couldn't get him blocked on that last one. Now it's 2nd and 14. Got his man in the middle. And he's knocked down immediately, but a good pickup on that play. They run into a bit of trouble here. 3rd and long from the 25, and the last thing they want is to get knocked out of. And he's all bottled up, and now it's loose. The ball's loose. Punt team makes its way onto the field. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. Going to make sure he doesn't get a return on this one as the punt bounces out of bounds. So we'll see the offense on the field to start this drive. Hands it off. Fighting off the defender. Knocked down after getting 6 all the way out to the 34-yard line. Got 6 on first down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. Leaves it with the back. To the 43-yard line and a first down for this offense. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. The give to the tailback. He'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6. They'll run the option. And the defense makes the stop after a minimal gain. They'll try to pick up this 3rd down and keep the drive moving close to midfield. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. They were all over him, nowhere to go as that 3rd down play turned into a disaster. They booted away on 4th down. Not going to take a chance to grab that one as it bounces out of bounds. Here comes the offense onto the field again. He'll pull it on the read. There he goes. They'll get him down at the 48 after the 15-yard gain. Ripped off a chunk on the opening play of this drive. Now it's first down from the 48. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3. Win with the running game on first down, now back at it. Quarterback on the keeper. On the move at the 30. A huge chunk play as he gets it all the way down to the 11.
And that's what makes this offense so dynamic. It's his running ability, and I love them going option here. He's hoping the defense is going to give him a look that forces him to keep the football. And how about his ability in the open field, generating a massive explosive play on that option run?
Run in the red zone, it's Butler. He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 at the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. Back to throw, it's Stewart. Under fire. And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check
scoreboard. A first half of no points, 0-0. Now in the third quarter, sometimes when you get that rhythm and that offense rolling, sometimes it's hard to stop. So let's see if this is a trend setter. Let's see if this starts the offensive momentum.
When he did get that extra point through, the slippery surface, no problem. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the fourth quarter. From inside his own 10, he'll try to keep out their field position. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Past the sticks, and he may get more. Moves up to the 34-yard line,
appreciate you, brother. I can't tell you how much I thank you because the coaches would have been all over me, but big time break for the offense.
The defense all revved up after that earlier sack, and they'll try to stop him right here. On third and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. Makes the grab.
And they get the completion, and they get out of bounds, which is obviously important to stop the clock. But what's really important now is it's fourth down, and that made it more manageable. But obviously, the clock is not as important as making sure you get this fourth down conversion.
He's not going to get there. A big stop for this defense on fourth down. He'll keep it himself. Runs through a tackle. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. 5 wide receiver formation on 2nd and 9. Wants to go up top. He finds a soft spot in the middle. Stopped at the 47-yard line, a 10-yard gain, and they'll move the markers. The defense calls the timeout, their second of the day, as they try to get their act together. He'll do it himself. Makes it past the marker. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Now on 1st and 10 from the 29. The option look. He'll toss it. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. The clock winds down with a 2-minute timeout, and this offense will try to drain away the time and secure the victory. Smart move to keep it on the ground. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Ball spotted at the 27. They're facing a 3rd and long to try to keep their hopes of a touchdown alive. They put the brakes on him at the 21-yard line, short of the line to gain, and now field goal or go for it on 4th. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. So on 4th down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot. And it's no good. And the margin is still 7 after the miss, guys.
Well, the kicker had a chance to ice this game if he makes it, but he knocks it off the upright. You still got a one-possession game.
They love to put a long drive together here as they start from their own 21. Looking to throw, it's Sims. The little soft flip pass falls incomplete. No time to waste here. They've got to get set and pick up chunk yardage. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Buys a little time. And to get rid of it quickly. That pressure got to him, and he just had to chuck it out of bounds. Got to get everybody lined up quickly. Time winding away, and they've got to push the ball down the field. Another incompletion on 3rd down. Trailing by a touchdown, getting late in the 4th, and this is a huge, perhaps a defining moment in this game. Pressure coming. He's taking a deep shot late in the game. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. And that decision will be questioned for a while.
All right. That does it for game one. A little bit closer than I think we all expected or anticipated. For a while, it didn't look like anyone wanted to win this game, did it? I'm not sure if it was the weather that played havoc on them or what, but very low scoring game, 7-0. South Terrebonne advances to 3-0, while HL drops to 0-3. Um, yeah, rough day for HL on this one. Chris Sims, just under 50% completion percentage with the interception that he threw early on that one. I'm gonna go through the stats here. For anyone wanting to keep track at home, it's not something I'm going to be able to do in game. So the best I can do is show you the stats at the end of each game, and then if you want to keep track at home, just pause the screen and write stuff down if you'd like to. But yeah, so another strong defensive performance by South Terrebonne. Their defense definitely seems to be the strength of their team right now. And offensively, we'll get to their stats here in just a minute. I think Stewart had a better game passing than he did last week. They certainly leaned on the running game. I think that's kind of their bread and butter. If South Terrebonne wants to continue going forward with success, I think that option play between their quarterback, Stewart and Butler, running that option and having both of those guys being that, kind of a dual attack on the ground is definitely the way to go for them. It's definitely the strength of their offense right there. All right, we'll get to the kicking here. No, nothing to show there. And here's the punting stats for HL Bourgeois. And now let's take a look at the passing stats for South Terrebonne. And here's Robert Stewart's stats. So yeah, not too bad. 7 to 10 for 95 yards. He was definitely more productive, more efficient, I guess I should say. Maybe not productive, but certainly more efficient in passing tonight. He did get injured though. He got that little medical injury mark right there. And just a reminder, because of the way I'm doing this in play now mode, we're not able to carry injuries over from game to game. So that's not something we're going to do. If someone gets knocked out for the game, like we saw with Robert Stewart, he's obviously going to be out for the game, and they're just going to have to deal with that for that particular game. But once we move on to the next week, all of that gets reset, so everybody's back at full health. So we will not be carrying injuries over from game to game. So Ted Knightshead, I guess that's how you pronounce his name, Nightshed maybe, had to come in the backup quarterback, and he actually did pretty decent. He had a really clutch completion there that he threw a pass for a first down. That one completion for 11 yards was pretty clutch, and then he made a few runs too. That was pretty clutch there in the fourth quarter that they definitely needed. So once again, leaning on David Butler, 78 yards rushing. He had a beautiful touchdown run there in the third quarter. That was a great run by him. And then Stewart, despite all the sacks that he received, at one point he had like minus 30 something yards in sack yardage. He still finished the game with positive 23 yards. So he actually, if you take away the sacks, he probably ran for a good 50, 60 yards, um, you know, just in terms of actually running the ball. So that was definitely a big combination here between the two of them. And then here's the 3 runs for 18 yards by the backup quarterback, and then a couple runs by the backup running backs down here. Receiving yardage, again, not big numbers, but they're definitely a running team. I think is again their strength. That option running attack is something that they're gonna have to lean into if they want to continue to have success. And then their defense, as always, has been really solid this season so far. I was really impressed with their defense against Thibodeau. And here's that turnover down here by the strong safety. But yeah, pretty good game here, despite it was a defensive struggle, despite the weather and the lack of scoring. I think it was an entertaining game at least. So South Terrebonne remains undefeated, which means there's a very real possibility we could see another matchup of two undefeated teams next week. We're going to have to find out, though, because that's going to be a little bit later. So, for now, we're going to wrap up this game, and then I'm going to hit to a pause screen for just a minute, and we'll be back in just a few minutes while I get everything set up in the background for game 2 of week 3. Stick with me, and I'll be right back.